Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Data's in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauvin, and I'm the founder of Data's in Control. I want to start out by asking you guys to do me a favor. If you haven't already done this, head on over to iTunes or the podcasting app, and please rate and review the podcast. By rating and reviewing the podcast, it gives us a little bit more exposure to help us deliver our message to other men and women that would benefit from hearing it. It's that simple. It only takes a second. Now, let's get into today's episode. So I spent the last 40 minutes or so going over some previous journal entries that I've made over the past X number of years. And I've came to a realization that one of the biggest shifts that I've made in my life is, scarcity. Now, for those of you that don't know what scarcity is being in a place where you believe that there's not enough. Whether it's financial, whatever it is, you just believe that it or you are not enough. And no matter what happens at that point, no matter what your goals are, no matter what the destination is, if you're not happy with what's going on inside of you, you're not going to be happy at the destination because you still brought the same old you. So I realized this in looking back in some of my previous journal entries, and it was kind of profound. After doing some thinking, I realized that once I became happy with who I am, and once I did the work to know who I am, the biggest change happened. And I think one of the greatest questions that you can actually ask yourself is, who am I, and what is the purpose of my life? Because let's face it, if you can't answer these questions, if you have no idea what these questions are or who you are in relation to these questions, you have some work to do. So in your head, you may be asking yourself a few questions. What is scarcity? Am I in scarcity? How do you know? Well, if you look at yourself and you look at your situation and you look at investing in yourself, or you look at going on a vacation, but it's not enough money, or it's not this, or it's not that. If you're coming up with reasons that it's not, you're in scarcity. You're not happy with where you're at. You're not happy with who you are in blah, blah, blah. Now, what's next? Well, you have to do a little bit of work. You have to really reach down inside of yourself and process and figure out what makes you tick and where you're at and who you are and all of these things. But once you do that, you can come to be very, very happy with yourself, and one would say abundant. Now, that's a word that I'm not particularly fond of, but it is the best word for the job right now. Being abundant, there is enough. I'm happy with who I'm at. It's not a challenge. It's how can I? Not, oh, I can't. It's a mindset. It's to coin somebody else's phrase, a fundamental shift that happens inside of you. You see, when you look at a problem and you're starting to figure out, well, who do I have to become to do this? It's not, oh, I can't do that because. It's finding a different way to solve this problem. And I think that once you can open your eyes to this perspective, you'll really, really make some big changes and drastic changes in your lifestyle fast. And I can hear you guys right through the microphone. Oh, it's easy for the guy that's recording this to say, blah, blah, blah. Well, there was a time in my life, and it wasn't that long ago, where I couldn't quit my job because, and I couldn't invest in a coach because, and I was afraid to do this because, and then the list goes on. And I could sit here for another 20 or 30 minutes telling you stories about how I couldn't do things. And then one powerful woman changed my mind, my wife. She said, well, why can't you do this? And she prompted me, and she egged me on, and she pushed me, and she irritated me. But she was doing this, guys, because she believed in me more than I believed in me. She knew deep down inside that I could do this, that I could make this work, that I could make this change happen. And, well, it took a while for me listening to her perspectives to become on board. And once I started making the change, once I started shifting my mindset, once I started putting my best foot forward and doing the work that I knew I needed to do, the results started coming. And my mindset shifted, and I could see things in a different light, and I could achieve things that I never thought I could achieve because, well, my mindset was different. I wasn't looking at things with the same old eye. And guys, when you can start seeing this, when you start doing this, the world has endless possibilities for you. So the next time your wife is nagging at you, the next time your wife is egging you on to do something and you're reluctant, try changing your perspective. Try looking at it differently. You just might change the world if you do so. Well, men, that's it for today. If this is a conversation that you would like to continue, if you would like to learn more about how to retake control of your life, how to become a better version of yourself, a better father, a better husband, happier, it's easy. Head on over to dadisincontrol.com. Click the button to join our free Facebook group. It's that simple. Join a community of men who are there to listen, to lend advice, to level up. There's no judgment, just a bunch of guys that are there to become better versions of themselves and to create community and relationships. And finally, guys, we have some openings for one-on-one coaching spots available. So if you're a guy that's listening to this message and you're feeling lost, you're hollow inside, you're stressed, you're scared, maybe your marriage is falling apart, maybe you have no relationship with your kids, maybe you have no relationship with yourself. If you want to learn how to become a better version of yourself that'll radiate in all of these areas of your lives, head on over to dadisincontrol.com/start. Fill out the application, and that'll prompt a one-on-one phone call with me. And let's see what we can do to make your life better, to level you up, so that you can become a better version of you in all areas of your life. Because you're worth it. So guys, that's the episode for today. I wish you all a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the podcast. Till next time, we'll see ya.